With OTAs at a close, now Eagles fans must wait till later this summer to finally get some more football. But in the meantime, the Eagles are definitely going to be rewatching tape, looking at this team, and figuring out where they can retool and just get better. So today, I want to give you 3 players that I would pick up if I was the Philadelphia Eagles that, in my opinion, may guarantee a Super Bowl next year. And also, I'm going to talk about the Miles Sanders situation. So let's get into it.
You want Philly?
Yeah, let's do it.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly the podcast. So today, I want to give you guys 3 players that I think the Eagles should go after that I think also will make them a lock for the Super Bowl this upcoming year. And also, I do want to quickly talk about the whole Miles Sanders situation. Now, before we get into that, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family. We are on the road to 10K, and we would love for you guys to join that ride. So let's hop right into it, man. I'll start with Miles. Obviously, Miles Sanders talked about how he was disappointed in the lack of touches in the big game, right? In the Super Bowl, he felt like he didn't really see the ball much, felt like he didn't make a big impact on the game. So I'm not going to bash him as much as a lot of, and it's not even, I don't want to say bash, but I've seen a lot of people kind of like, call him out and say, oh, why are you complaining, blah, blah, blah. I kind of understand it. I mean, I kind of get it. I understand feeling like you could have done more for your team in the biggest game. I think that if he didn't feel that way, I would be a little bit worried. Now, I don't know if he was talking necessarily in bad terms about the Philadelphia Eagles, but I didn't get that type of sense. I just, like I said, got that sense that he was upset with himself and the team's decision to kind of go away from him. At the end of the day, these players all have an ego. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think when you're at this level, you have to have some type of ego, some type of confidence. I think confidence is probably the better way of putting it. You have to have confidence in yourself and understanding, you feel, or at least feeling like you can change the game at any moment. And I know it has to be tough. You walk out of there without a win. Now you're a Carolina Panther. Probably not going to see the Super Bowl for a little while. We'll see what they do over there. They're building something. I'm not going to sit here and hate. But I understand it. And I'm not going to sit here and bash Miles Sanders. I feel bad for him. I feel bad that he lost that game. I feel bad that, he's not going to be able to finish that chapter and it's kind of going to be opened, right? Maybe down the line he comes back on a 1 or 2 year deal and tries to, ring chase with us or something like that. But right now it feels like it's over, right? So I definitely get it, and I'm not going to bash him. I get it. I'm cool with it. Miles, we get it. I get it. I don't know about we, but let's get into these 3 players that I want to see the Philadelphia Eagles go ahead and grab. Now we're going to start with a guy that honestly I have no idea why he's still a free agent, right? He's had multiple double-digit sack seasons. He's had very good production as of recent, especially Yannick Ngakoue. I have no idea how he's still out there on the open market. He's had a couple of 1-year deals. I don't know if he's still open to another 1-year deal. 28 years old. I feel like that's the prime. I feel like that's the time that these guys really get it going. Like I said, the past 2 years he's had really good production, or at least the past 3 years I'll say he's had very good production, and last 2 years on 2 different teams. So I think that if you bring him into a situation like the Philadelphia Eagles, it bolsters not only that contract talk, right? Because that's what all players want to get down to, is the brass tacks, right? It gives you another year on a good defense that you can go ahead and put up some good sack numbers and have one-on-ones, whereas you might go to a team that's not as wealthy on the defensive line and have to go out there and fight through double teams. I don't think you're going to deal with that much with the Philadelphia Eagles. And not only that, you're going to be healthy. You're going to be, I don't want to say you're going to be healthy. You're going to be fresh. We're going to rotate you. We're going to rotate our players. So that's something that I think a lot of, especially veterans, have to kind of keep in mind. I mean, look, at the end of the day, 28 is not that old. 29 is not that old. I think he'll be 29 once the season actually starts, but that's not that old. At the same point, you want to kind of keep the miles off your body. If you can go out there and not play as many snaps as you would on maybe a worse team, then you're able to kind of go to another team and show fully what you have and still have a little bit of mileage on you. So look, Yannick Ngakoue, I know I'm over here selling him for another team, but Yannick Ngakoue I think would fit right in with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he wants to win championships, and I think the Philadelphia Philadelphia Eagles might be able to help you there. We might be able to, accommodate you there, big dog. So Unique, I don't know how much money he's going to be looking for, but this is a guy that I think if the Eagles are able to grab him in this free agency, and we're in this last period of free agency where veterans go for a lot cheaper than we thought they would, right? So that we might get lucky in getting this guy. So if we're able to get him, I think that this guy puts us over the edge, especially defensively, and makes us a Super Bowl bound team easily. Now, next, this one might not be as realistic. It would involve a trade, and it probably would involve some pretty good assets. It would probably involve maybe a second round, maybe a first round, maybe some mid-round picks jumbled together, depending. Every time I say, first or second round pick, everybody's like, do you know who our GM is? Do you know? I get it, but hey, I think that this is a guy that if I'm Howie Roseman and they say, listen, give us your 32nd pick and we'll take them, or give us one of your second round picks and take them, I would do it, and that's going to be Danielle Hunter. Now, the Minnesota Vikings have reportedly been open to going ahead and moving on from the pass rusher. Another guy that I think he's 28 years old, a guy in his prime, has had very, very productive years. All his seasons that he's played, he's been out there just balling out. He's a guy that can get after the quarterback. He can go out there, have his hand in the dirt. He can also kind of stand up for you and rush that passer. He's shown a little bit in pass coverage. I would love for the Philadelphia Eagles to get this guy. And I know a lot of people say, well, we have this person, we have that person. How is he going to fit in with this guy? Whose snaps is he going to take? Luckily, I don't get paid to make those decisions, but I think that if you went to Sean Desai and said, is there a such thing as too many pass rushers? Are we giving you too many weapons? I don't think he'll say yes. So the lowdown skinny on this is, now, if you are part of the Patreon, I opened a new Patreon. You probably heard this about a week early. I talked about this last week. But the whole lowdown with that is that they are open to trading him. And Danielle Hunter, I think, is a guy that would fit in so perfectly with the Philadelphia Eagles, just from a mindset, from a play type. I think he's a dog. And I think when you listen to what Sean Desai is trying to do with his defense, he wants to be felt, right? I think this is a guy that will definitely make some quarterbacks feel him on the other end. So I would love to see Danielle Hunter as a part of the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, I think this guy makes you a lock to be playing in February, and in my opinion, makes you very, very hard to beat in February. So if Danielle Hunter becomes a Philadelphia Eagle, let's just say, watch that video, because I'm going crazy and I'm gonna be like, I told you so, because I'm not very good at kind of keeping humble about stuff. But yeah, Danielle Hunter, come on down to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, lastly, this one, I don't know if this is even something Eagles fans would like. I mean, I know that there's conversation about Olamide, there's conversation about Quez Watkins, there's conversation about DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins kind of said that he wants to get still a bag. He still wants a pretty good contract, so that probably took us out of the race. But at the end of the day, there is a guy out there on free agent. There's a couple of guys, but this guy I think would actually fit in with the Philadelphia Eagles and probably fit into the role that we would need him to be in. And that's going to be Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry obviously had a stint with the Browns, obviously had a stint, I think, with the Dolphins. I think he was before that. He's been a couple different places. Right now, a free agent. I think that, obviously he's a vet. He's an older guy, over 30 if I'm not mistaken. But he's a guy that I think that he just has solid hands. You remember Jason Avant. I'm not saying that he's, Jason Avant is as good as Jarvis Landry. I think Jarvis Landry is probably an echelon above what Jason Avant's career was. No offense to Jason Avant. He was a dog, a hellified player. But, I think we can all agree that, Jarvis Landry is a little bit different. But either way, if he came to this Philadelphia Eagles team and was our third option at the wide receiver spot, and look, that's not even saying you have to get rid of Quez, you got to get rid of Olamide. You still let these guys kind of develop and still, get some work. But you have a Jarvis Landry on third down. Yeah, you look at on a third down, third and long, you have Jarvis Landry, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith. You got Dallas Goedert at tight end. You feel very comfortable. You feel very, very comfortable. If I'm not, tell me if I'm bugging here, but I'm feeling very, very comfortable if that's my lineup. I think Jarvis Landry, again, he might not be that explosive wide receiver. He might not be, taking off the top of a lot of defenses, but he will catch those balls. He will be a very solid and reliable option for Jalen Hurts, and I think that's something that he's going to continuously need throughout his career, as do all quarterbacks, right? You want somebody that you feel comfortable at any given time throwing that ball to. I think Jarvis Landry could definitely fill that spot. So you guys let me know what you're thinking. Give me some guys that are on the open market that you guys would like to get, even trade for. I mean, obviously there's Miles Jacks out there. There's a couple of different guys out there. You know, Dalvin Cook, I don't think that's going to happen, but that he's out there. I talked about DeAndre Hopkins. There's a lot of people that are still free agents right now. OBJ, another wide receiver. Who are some guys that you guys want to go after, and who would you like to see in the Philadelphia Eagles colors? You know, I mean, Kelly Green this year. You know what I'm saying? I'm hyped for that, but you guys let me know down in the comments. Other than that, y'all know what it is, man. If y'all enjoyed, definitely hit that like, hit that subscribe. But it is Fly Eagles Fly, and we are out here. Peace.
Eagles fans everywhere. This is for you.
Fly Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown, touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird gang nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, Hunter like Randall. Season here, early time to do him in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.